Hello again, everybody, and a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays to all of you. This is the Christmas Day edition of the Icey Cast. I think Jamie McDermott, I'm John McKellar, that this is the first time we have ever released a podcast on Christmas Day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. All of those years and all those different formats that we've had, and I don't think we've ever released one on Christmas Day, so this is a pretty special one. It's notable as well in that I don't have a format written out. There are absolutely zero notes on my wonderful Bates Motel branded notepad here.
That could be a different bit of paper, mate. You might have more written in front of you.
I've got them all written on me. Yeah, this is going to be a very special edition of the Icey Cast. We're going to freeform it. We're going to improv it. We're going to shoot the shit for about 45 minutes, an hour. We're going to talk about Soundbooth, primarily. This is going to be a Q&A where I'm going to think up questions on the spot and ask you them and put you on the spot. And you'll tell me about the progress of the film and where it's going and where it's been and how it's going just now. First off, since we're airing this at 7 p.m. on Christmas Day, Jamie, where are you on Christmas Day at 7 p.m? What are your plans?
Chad, does you want me to think ahead? No, because new is Christmas, mate. I get you. See what you're doing. I'm in the house doing nothing. I want to do fuck all this year. I want to do nothing this year. It's quite important that I do nothing this year. You know what? Like, Christmas, isn't it? It's been like a stressful time quite a lot. It's not been that relaxing, sitting about doing nothing time. It's been a run about, try to time everything, get everything ready. And it shouldn't be. So, certainly when you're older like me, John, not like you, like me.
We're not that far apart in age. It's only 7, 8 years. 8 years, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's.
God, that is quite a lot. That is quite a gap.
Yeah, that's the whole tin of beans. Like you get 7 years and a tin of beans, mate. There's a whole tin of beans there.
Tin of beans. How much older than you is Jamie? About a tin of beans.
About a tin of beans for the start.
Yeah. Or a Nokia 3310, a Nokia battery. Like a charger, a Nokia battery.
He's use it a lot. What about you? What are you currently doing?
I'm sitting recording a podcast with you.
In the future, John, on Christmas?
On Christmas Day, assuming that I'm still alive, because this is 5 days ago. So dinner was due for 3 p.m. today. On Christmas Day, and we're at my place, so I'm in this same room, most likely, with my family and my son, and just enjoying my family's company. That's nice. About it.
Nice. Yeah, I like how you already preempted and dinner being late, so that's quite good.
I mean, we've all agreed for 3 o'clock, so that means that we'll probably sit down to dinner at about 5:30. You know what it's like, man.
It's never 3 o'clock, mate. There's always a lot of shouting and swearing in the kitchen. So.
Aye, there are like 4 kids coming as well, so it'll be hectic. It's going to be mental. Like 6 adults and 4 kids. I think it's going to be all in. So,
do you just find them, or do you know them? Is that
one of them's mine? I can't speak to the others.
Fair.
But yeah, my brothers are coming, my mum's coming, everybody's coming.
That's the weirdest thing you've ever said in the podcast, John. Thanks for that. So a nice relaxing Christmas.
You're
John. Just keep
You're absolutely filthy, McDermott. How dare you? Anyway. You expecting any wonderful gifts? Have you been told what you're getting for your other half?
Nah, I mean, it's just, it's like, it loses its kind of thing when you're older. You don't get like toys or anything like that, mate. So, like, it's not like, we don't get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shit or anything like that anymore, so.
I mean, I'm literally getting a toy for my Christmas, so.
What are you getting? Is that the one that's built, isn't it?
It's Johnny Silverhand for Cyberpunk 2077.
Right. Just glossed over that, the thumb joke there, mate. You see that?
I did. You know what's funny, right? Like,
Well, that
I didn't hear.
could be called Johnny Silverhand.
I didn't actually hear it when you said it, so I don't actually know what you said. Like, it glitched a wee bit, and I didn't hear quite what you said. But I heard you say thumb, but I didn't hear anything else.
You should have known it was bad just by that word.
I mean, it's no any worse than what I just said a minute ago, so it's all right.
That's fair. I mean, games, I'm going to say, like, because like adults get games now. That's kind of what we get. They're made for us.
It's become for a generation that refuse to grow up.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been a big problem of mine. So
it's partially why we're here. It's how Icebox came to be.
Yeah, pretty much, mate. I've just started playing Left 4 Dead 2 again. I've got into Thingy a few as well, so I'll give that a shot.
Yeah, we're going to be doing streams of Fallout 76
live.
On Twitch. We should actually, like we'll do it maybe 27th, 28th or whatever. Yeah. We'll take a couple of days off over Christmas, but at twitch.tv/Icebox Glasgow. Fucking fly. Icebox Glasgow, twitch.tv/Icebox Glasgow. Do follow us there and join us for live Twitch streams of Fallout 76. Now, Fallout is a game that I love, and I know that, Jamie, when you've played it in the past, you've got absolutely addicted. So these are going to probably be quite lengthy streams of like several hours and muchos banter. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Aye, I'm actually, because it's the only one out of them all, I think, that I've not tried.
Yeah, so and it'll be. Yeah, I've played. I mean, it's fine. Like,
I've completed Vegas, New Vegas, about fucking 4 or 5 times.
New Vegas is a pretty good game. My favourite Fallout game is Fallout 3, personally. I just love the environment of the Capital Wasteland and all that. It just looks like a fucked up nuclear holocaust.
Yeah,
it's the perfect setting. Are you excited for the TV show?
It's no out until when's it out?
April, I think. April. Yeah, it's April 2024.
They've got that, and they've got Halo coming out as well next year.
Yeah, I've really never played Halo, so I'm not really all that bothered by it. Did you ever play Halo?
I loved Halo.
You enjoyed it?
Completed it, mate. Completed it.
Mate.
See when it started doing all the online stuff, where if you wanted to complete I think it was one of the last ones there. If you wanted to fully complete it, you had to do online levels.
Fuck that.
I don't like playing with other. I love I complete it myself. I don't like it online, and it's fucking 12-year-olds that are good at you, and they're just always racist. It's weird. It's just weird. I don't like playing with humans. No,
humans are quite shit. I mean, if it's just you and me, then that's fine, because we can at least eviscerate each other verbally while we go, and try to entertain a few folks. Please, again, though, do follow us on twitch.tv/Icebox Glasgow. Join us for the streams. We'll probably be doing it 27th and 28th, and then we'll go from there. And these will be several hours in length because it's the holidays. We won't really be doing much else. Check it out, guys. Jamie, we talked about B1000 by Guided by Voices last week.
We did.
Did you check out any more of their music in the meantime?
I totally forget the name of it. The one with the drum is the picture in the album cover. I think it's a drum. The one after B1000, I think it was.
Alien Lanes.
That's it. That's the one. I thought it was a drum. Is it a drum?
Is it a drum? I think it is. Hold on.
I'm Googling it. You're right, mate.
I think it is. It is a drum. It's not like a drum.
Fuck's sake, John.
You're a fucking drum.
And you know who else is disappointed, John? Guided by Voices.
Listen, I have made a fucking career out of being a disappointment, so don't even try it.
That's not right. Right, cool.
Jim Kearney commented on last week's video and said if it's a quote strange album, Jamie, it should be right up your fucking street. Would you like to rebuke that? Would you like to respond?
I mean, he's not wrong. He isn't wrong. That's right. Aye.
Yeah. You're a strange man. You are what you are, Jamie.
Yeah.
You are what you are at the end of the day. You're a strange fella. which coming from me is saying a lot, really. What are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about Soundbooth. So would you say we do a quick Q&A?
You definitely should do that. All these
Are you
questions
ready?
that you go up.
Are you ready, Jamie?
Yep.
Are you amplified to rock?
No.
Let's do this. First question. Why write a film? And why now?
That's a good question, John. Why? Because I want to. I've always wanted to, but I've had lots of scripts sitting there. Never really finished them because I always just thought like other people write films. It's the same as people that want to write a book and that as well. They usually, well, a lot of them don't write it till later on because of the kind of an imposter saying you don't write books. Other people write books and you read books. So I just think now it's like the last chance. I've got all this stuff and now I might as well just fucking go for it and do it. It's a good time for it. I think we all come to a point in life where we realise that this is the good time for it, and you just have to kind of do it. And once I get that initial thought, I think you just fucking jump in it. Because if I don't, I'll just go back to doing the same old shit all the time. So I jumped on it this time. And when I become, I'm like, when I become kind of hyper focused on something for a while, that's what I'll do. And that's how I kind of hyper focus on that for a good few months. I just sat writing it out. I deleted quite a lot of it as I was writing it. Because again, we all truly hate ourselves and we like that shite. And then you delete it and you're like, oh, some of that was good. And then you start writing that again. And then you realise you've lost like a couple of weeks of work. But it's just like now is the right time for it. And why is just because I can. I'm old enough now to read main stuff and go, that's quite good. You can do that. So whereas before I'd never had the kind of confidence. So fuck it. Now's the time, mate.
No, it's the time. Now, before we go into any more questions, you want to give anybody that's watching this week's show a bit of a synopsis? Obviously, we don't want to give away spoilers or too much info in the script. But as far as we are, in terms of the plan, it's going to be made within the next 6 months or so, in terms of casting it, putting a crew together, filming it.
Again, everything like you always think stuff, you time stuff and how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then everything takes longer. And then we actually, like some of the meetings I've had with folk that have like worked on different projects, even folk I've met with folk that have done short films and that, and they're like, no, that's standard. You think you can do it in this time, but when you actually talk to other people, they're like, no, add months to that. But you'll be constantly working on it through that time. That's why, like, why I was saying, if you've got other project ideas, start writing them down and stuff down, because it takes too long otherwise. Like the best time to start something else as well. You finish one project and you're working through it. It also hopefully will just keep the old fucking grey matter fresh, mate, and just so I can kind of keep chilling and stuff out. And it helps, like, even for mental health stuff, writing helps. See, like writing stuff down and focusing on something, it does make you feel a bit better. It's like reading a book. You feel a lot better after reading a book. You kind of get lost in a different world. Writing for me it's got the same kind of feeling to it. So
you mentioned the mental health aspect. Is that something that you've been struggling with before you started writing it? And is it something you've kind of used as a therapy?
I mean, me and you have talked about this years ago in the past. It's always something that's always been there. Like the industry that we found ourselves when we first started chatting many years ago was the music industry that seemed to attract counsellors like most of flame. There's no many people that are talented in the music industry that are having to get fucking mental health issues. And only constantly kind of battling it and tapping it down and no talking about it. I think now it's good because they talk about it more. I've been quite open about it. I've talked to their own line with stuff and that as well. Because I just don't. It should be easy to talk about. And talking about it helps as well. So I think one thing it doesn't help is fucking bottling up. Even when we go online now, through our Facebook pages, other people's Facebook pages, You get a lot of bands openly talking about their own kind of troubles. A lot of fucking directors and writers talking about how they kind of escape into these worlds as an escapism for the shit that's going on in their life. So yeah, definitely.
Lewis Capaldi's, I think, a pretty high-profile example of that for just last year. A guy who's been mega successful in just a short period of time, played an enormous festival, and then immediately took a lengthy mental health sabbatical that I think he's still actually on.
I think he is. It was a panic attack he had, wasn't it? It was something.
So I think he's got like Tourette's or something of that nature. I wouldn't want to comment in terms of like his exact condition because I don't know much about him, but he had some kind of nervous situation. That's for sure. Yeah, I think he had a bit of a, I don't know if we would call it a meltdown, but he certainly had a bit of an episode with whatever it is that the issue is that he contends with every day. And then he just kind of said, I'm taking a break for the foreseeable, which good on him.
Yeah, that is good. I mean, you need to, the thing is, see if you're thinking about taking a break like that, probably need to have a break like that.
Yeah.
Once it's in your head, I think that's it. You need to recognise that if you only if you need that break, you need to take it. Because without having good fucking mental health, you're not going to be able to do the work that you want to do.
And somebody who's in that lifestyle as well probably needed the break long before they realised that. Because you're running at 100 miles an hour constantly. When you're on tour, particularly, you know what I mean. Like these people are hitting towns all over the place. Some of them all over the world, and it's every day or every other day. And the conditions that they're living in aren't exactly conducive to great mental health. So by the time somebody like that thinks to themselves, I need to stop doing this for a while and take a break, they've probably needed that break for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, I've even all that stuff, I've done that kind of living in a van shit and all that.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I liked it at the time, but didn't like it after.
It's certainly much better as a
5 or 6 stinky guys, basically.
It's much better as an anecdote than it is as an experience to actually live. The good old days back in the van. Like it's nice to look back on, and it obviously helped you along to where you are now. Because you don't really get to where you are without putting in the graft. That's the thing. I don't decry any or envy it because all the good stuff and the bad stuff has kind of led me to where I'm at now. Yeah.
So it kind of all plays a part, if you know what I mean. And it's
which is
get into that mindset is is where I'm all the now, so it's all part of the story.
So you mentioned there when we first started chatting and we got together as partners in this organisation. We started off in music.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your days as a music promoter are over?
Well, no, quite. Mind when we put on. Do you mind when we were in the Xbox and we put on the Murderpalooza stuff and that, which was a kind of murder mystery mixed with theatre, mixed with a live band. It was all kind of together. I want to kind of do stuff like that next year. Maybe put on a couple, see how it goes, because it fits in with the writing I'm doing just now. So but I don't think I'd go with the standard kind of gigs again. There's too much. It's all fucking stress, mate. There's not a lot of payoff for it, and that's what you talk about monetary sense. There's not a lot you come off and you're like, you know what, that was all that at the end was worth everything I put into it. It's been diminishing returns, that kind of stuff for a while, and people are skittish now. There's too many gigs. They can't afford to go to more. They can afford to go to less now than they even could before. But weirdly, there's even more gigs. And when you're putting on these gigs and it's a low turnout, they expected a big turnout, then you feel shit. It's on you. You feel shit for the bands. Even if they don't mind, you still feel shit for putting it on. And you don't want to do projects that will fail, even without your best work. And sometimes that's what putting on a gig is. Doesn't matter what kind of work you do, the kind of promotion, posters, flyers, online stuff, it might still just be shit. And you've always got that at the back of your head. So, we had more quiet gigs and we had mob gigs. the mobbed ones are amazing when they happened, but then you had like a run of kind of semi-quiet ones for no reason whatsoever. Same quality of band. So.
Yeah, it would make sense if it was like Saturday, or Friday, Saturday packed, Sunday through Thursday quieter.
Yeah.
But oftentimes we had like Saturday nights that were absolutely dead.
Even
it was just
when we had the venue, mate, that's when I realised it was even me putting on a gigs as if I was doing something random, because we were working with lots of other promoters that were putting on gigs, and I seen ones that should have fucking sailed. It should have been sky high.
Yeah.
It should have been a sale. It should have been mobbed. Like Big Boy Boat or not. The second time we had them up, massive like promoted to fucking that, and it was just quiet, and it shouldn't have been. And seeing other promoters putting in all the work, and the bands putting in all the work in the act, and it still kind of dies a bit, and you're just like, why the fuck? We're punishing ourselves, John. Why are we involved in this shit?
Yeah, unfortunately, the average person would rather go and see a fucking tribute band than see something new, and interesting, and that absolutely disgusts me. If I'm honest, I can't stand that.
Like, see, as been around the venue as well, we put on a couple of fucking mobbed tribute nights, that pulled us up that week because hardly any companies coming out to see the original bands that we put on a fora. So I don't envy the venues putting it on because they've got to survive. And it is a strange one that tribute acts are pulling in such big crowds. I guess it's nostalgia in it. Like, people are just wanting to feel good in a shit world, so they'll go and like pay a tenner to go and see a Linkin Park tribute act because it makes them feel good for the night. So I can't take that away from them, to be honest with you. So and that's for somebody that used to be annoyed at the amount of tribute acts out there and the amount of tribute gigs. But like everything else, I guess it's got its place. So it's entertainment at the end of the day. Yeah,
I don't blame venues. I don't blame musicians. That's where the money is, and you have to try and make a living. If you're going to do it every night, you need to try and make a living out of it. I blame people. I blame punters. I blame the average person in the street because they refuse to go and see new bands. And when you look at all the great scenes that have propped up, grunge, Britpop, punk, there were communities that were built out of like a desire to actually discover new stuff, and experiment, and that just is completely gone.
We're not getting that now.
No, people are just fucking sleepwalking through existence, and are completely terrified of anything that's slightly different.
Yeah, we had a Paul Weller tribute act on one night, and it was fucking mobbed, and I'm like, who's got to see a Paul Weller tribute act? I don't think this many people here to see fucking Paul Weller. Like, it was mobbed. It was a bit of a rowdy night. It was full of the fans, you know, the ones I'm talking about, the indie rock guys. The ones 5 minutes in the building, you're like, oh, it's got to be fights. It's got to be fights. And
bucket hat wearing wankers that roll their own backhoe.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're all kind of it makes it weird.
Yeah. Aye, and then they're always talking about how, you know, they were part of this great kind of uprising of Britpop or whatever, and how it was so original and cool and stuff. And it's like, well, what happened to you?
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was just another moment in time. A lot of the rest of them. So you get the ones the Manchester one as well, which I love. Let's see the Manchester, the Manchester. If you get tribute acts for that, it fucking sells it as well. But it wasn't some great fucking amazing. It was great, but it was just a moment in time, like all of the other like amazing bands that have come out, and like your Oasis and your Blur. No, it was great, but it's just a snapshot. So
it's like in pro wrestling, right? When somebody's like the top guy and the main champion, he can't sit on top and be champion forever. Somebody new has to come in and take the title off him eventually and take it in a different direction. And it's just like that with music. Like, you can't just keep going back to the well of these scenes or these eras that came before. Use that by all means as an inspiration, but create something new. You don't need to completely reinvent the wheel. Take wee bits, the best bits that you love the best about it, and turn it into something that's yours instead of just copy it.
I think we're running out of originality, and I mean like music.
It is very, very rare that you find originality now, but it is there. And I think that if we just put a wee bit more effort in, we could absolutely keep creating and bring something completely new to the table.
Yeah.
This generation is unlike any other. We have the power of like gods practically at our fingertips. We can program albums at our desks. We have unlimited creative freedom. We have unlimited knowledge at our fingertips, and we don't use it. We just keep copying. we just keep copying. It's just facsimiles of like things that came before. And I'm fed up with it, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
see, if I hear another new band that comes out and sounds a bit like the Beatles, I'm going to just fucking go after that.
Yeah. Well, you know how I feel about the Beatles anyway. I've never been a fan, regardless. But yeah, like, do something new. Take the best parts of something that people don't talk about anymore so much, and create something new to that. And it's definitely possible. Like, how many? I would imagine, right, that when hair metal and 80s fucking electropop were all the rage, that a lot of the young folk were like, oh, you know, like, we've run out of creativity, we've got no way to, like, you know, there's no ideas left.
Aye, so
and then 90s alternative rock came along, and then I bet that when that started to fade, people were again say, I remember people were saying, oh, you know, music isn't like it was in the 90s, but when you look at like indie rock in the 2000s, there's some really fucking good stuff.
Oh, some
Arcade Fire, Interpol, and bands like that.
Like, I wasn't a massive fan of like your kind of dance stuff and your rave and your techno. No really into that at all. But even that was an absolute snapshot in time. It was a fucking, it was a movement. It was amazing.
Disco lasted like 3 years or something.
Yeah.
It's some of the craziest music ever made.
Is that what that was? 3 years?
No, it wasn't a long time. Disco was in for a bit and then it was out, and it was so uncool when punk hit, you know. So, but yeah, like, anyway, like, I think we've kind of got really sidetracked here, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
it's really good actually. Yeah. So yeah, like, so you would do it again, but only in small bursts or for the right reason, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. So you've kind of transitioned away from that.
Something I loved.
Basically. Yeah. Where does that leave the status of the venue, the new venue?
I still want to get a venue. Like, that's absolutely, but it was pushed back to next year anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I'll try and revisit at the end of next year. If when the film comes out and if it does really well, then I can fucking do my own thing. I would love, even when I opened Xbox, I would love a horror themed venue, mate. I would love that. But you need money for something like that. You need backers. You need a name, basically. If I could get that on the cards again, that'd be fucking amazing.
Well, I mean, the Xbox was always kind of a multimedia space. It was never just a concert venue. We held all kinds of fairs there. Yep. We had art projects there. We did
Dungeons and Dragons things.
Yep. There was a fucking game show for a bit. Yeah, we had in film nights.
Yeah, we had Noise Gun and a music and comedy show. Yeah. So.
Exactly, yeah. We had all sorts of things. So it was never really just a concert venue.
No.
So yeah, I think
outlet, basically that was what it was.
Yeah. Hopefully the next time people will use it and exploit it to its full potential.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's talk about Soundbooth, because this is what we're here to talk about. Why don't you give the viewers a quick synopsis of the plot of Soundbooth?
Like, if they've reading the script, you know why it's difficult to get like a good synopsis, like, you know, anyway, because you've read it and you're like, what the fuck?
It can be as detailed or as vague as possible.
Yeah, it's a night in a venue in Glasgow. We are the same characters that you probably know if you've been to gigs in Glasgow, like very much so, and it all just goes to shit. It goes kind of crazy, and that's not even like spoiling stuff for you, because there's no way I can spoil what happens unless I specifically say it. It gives it. Have you seen the Convent, the year 2000 one?
I don't think I have.
It's a good horror. It was kind of, it went under the radar a bit, but it's fucking mental.
Have I seen the Convent? Hold on, it rings a bell actually. Give me a second. We're going to quickly
There's two
run a
ones. There's
search.
one that was the kind of mid-90s, but this is the year 2001.
2000. Oh no, I don't think I have, to be honest. I think I might have seen the other one.
Right, you should definitely watch it because it's mental. It's kind of low budget and it's kind of crazy, but it's the right kind of crazy. It's the kind of crazy that I kind of want you to do. Like, I want you to walk into a film with total different expectations, and then when it kicks off, you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" So, like, that's what it's entertainment, mate. I want.
Yeah.
I want you to be stunned, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think you described it really well when you said that it's like a joke that has been made. It's like it's been made as like a joke that nobody is really supposed to know the punchline to.
Yeah. And I'm not
that's
going to explain it. Like, I don't like spoon feeding stuff to people. So, is there an explanation for it all? Possibly. We've talked about what, and there is good ones, but it's up to the person to kind of take fate what they will. There's probably many explanations for it. So, take fucking whatever one you want.
Yeah. I think that's going to be enough for a synopsis because really we don't want to hint it too much because we want people to go into that practically blind and be like, what did I just fucking see?
Yeah. Why the best films that does that was Cabin in the Woods. Like that I didn't know. I went to know what the fuck it was about. I knew it was a horror. I knew it was set in a cabin in the woods. I knew it was a kind of comedy elements to it. But
don't spoil it.
What?
Spoilers.
Spoilers for Cabin in the Woods.
I didn't know it was set in a cabin.
In the woods?
Certainly didn't know it was in the woods.
Have you not seen Cabin in the Woods, have you?
It's not that kind of horror, man. Like, I don't watch that much. I'm very particular about the horror that I watch.
Mate, you watch it. You better watch that or I'll cut you. You better watch that Our Christmas.
All right, okay.
For me, for Jamie.
I'll watch it over Christmas. I'll watch it on my birthday.
Like, it is amazing. It's one of my... It's always kind of I've seen it a few times. Every time I watch it, there's something kind of different in it. And it's because the first time I watched it, I didn't really know what the fuck was going on. So I missed a lot of stuff because it's it's crazy. There's too much in it. And one of the best quotes for Cabin in the Woods are for the Q A for Cabin in the Woods in the DVD.
Right.
Is, somebody the question and answer asked him if he's going to do a second one, and he's like, "You seem fucking idiot."
Is it for 2012?
What?
Cabin in the Woods.
It's a new. That's probably about right, actually.
Right, I'm renting it right now.
I think it was shelved for like a couple of years because it's got a young. What's him that plays Thor in it?
Hemsworth.
Aye. And
Chris Hemsworth. Richard Jenkins is in it.
Oh, aye. It's got loads of legends in Buffy in it.
Right. I've just rented it.
What's his name? Joss Whedon. Aye.
Oh, okay. I've just rented it, mate. So I will be watching it at some point in the next few days.
Better watch it. Or the threat's still there, mate.
No, I don't want to get cut. I'm going to watch it. I've literally just rented it. I'll forward you my receipt to prove it. I'll check out the Cabin in the Woods then.
Wait, are you going to bill me for Cabin in the Woods?
Well, it is work, and you're the boss, so yeah, why not? Send you a wee invoice. I wanted to talk more about the script. I want you to talk me through your process when you were writing. So you've written the screenplay. What did that look like? I've never written a film. I don't know where to start. What does that look like when you sit down to write a screenplay? How often do you do it? For how long at a time?
Like with
what's
me,
going through your head?
It started. Well, when I did write it, when I did sit down to write bits here, I made sure I'd done like a couple of 100 words or a few hundred words at a time, because that's no dead hard today. So I knew that if I did that, then I could say, right, I've done it today. So even if that was all I did, then I've done that. But sometimes that 200, 300, 400 words was literally just editing shit that I'd previously done, and I added a wee bit more to it. I took a wee bit more away, and then I would spend like a couple of hours just editing stuff that I'd already done. And see, with edit, it wasn't that much fucking different. Like, I re-added stuff to it that I took away. But, like, the process was just weird. Started off with the idea, put the idea down, and then I went, I have to have a start. So I go to the start, but while I was doing the start, I also thought of the end. So I wrote a bit of the end down, and then I thought I'll try and do the start, middle, end stuff. So I had a wee bit in the middle as well that I thought about. And then I basically filled in all the gaps between it, constantly re-editing stuff as I went. So I go faster as I did it as well, because I'm the same as you. I'd wrote a lot of scripts, I wrote a lot of stuff, like the live theatre stuff in Icebox and that, with Mother Blues and that, but I'd never finished a feature-length one. Because, like, my ADHD, whatever the fuck else is around my brain, always stopped me from finishing it. Always, like, I had the ending of stuff, and I just couldn't. Once I had it in my head that it was a project that I had to finish, suddenly I couldn't finish it, even if I only had like another 50 minutes of work with something that took us months. But this time I was like, it's getting fucking done. I'm doing it. And then after I'd done it, there was this wave of relief. I was like, how the fuck did I not just do that with other ones? Like, literally, I could have just done that and maybe finished one or four now. And then after you finish it, then you have to go back for the first rewrite, which is fucking nightmarish.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was saying I've done 2 full rewrites yet. Yeah. But the second rewrite, I've got fucking script blindness. Like, I'm reading bits and I'm like, did I read that? I don't. It's like words don't make sense anymore. They don't sound right or spell right. So even when you're reading stuff out, see when we've been doing the read through with stuff.
Yeah.
There's bits that you read to me and I'm like, I don't remember writing that. Literally, I don't remember. I'm like, oh, that's good. As if I haven't. It wasn't even the fucking note to do. It's strange. It's a very strange thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a good sign though. It means that you're kind of you're removed enough for it that you can take a more critical look.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I think the first look or two that you would take after writing the full script would be rose tinted. You know, it's like, I've finally done this. This is my masterpiece. And I've actually managed to finish this, and it's really good because, you know, it has to be almost. What I want to ask though, like, how has the story differed? Are there any fundamental differences to the story from the first draft that you finished to the state it's in now, which is a couple rewrites deep?
That's an interesting one. I think that the first one that I done had less humour in it, and maybe a kind of slasher film kind of thing to it. But then I was like, I like, that's not what I want to write. I want to write, certainly for the first one that I finish, it has to be like unusual. I can't just write stuff that I like watching, if you know what I mean. I mean, I would really want to see this on the big screen, but just because it's fucking mental. Yeah. But I didn't just want to write a slasher film, so the first one was a lot more basic, and it wasn't as funny. The second one added a bit more humour. It's a lot easier to add stuff once you get the full thing done. And you can read it from start to finish. I added a couple more kind of scenes to it. I actually added the security talking.
Right.
There was the security had no lines at all for the first one. They were just folk that get killed, essentially. Yeah. So,
now they're kind of scumbags that get killed, I guess.
I wrote him in. The security guy that I've wrote as a speaking character, like we all know him for different venues. He is like a security guard that everybody that watches this film will be like, I fucking know that guy. He's the arsehole that's chucked us out of venues lots of times, basically. And I just I don't just want. It's all right having like some side people in it that are they're like NPCs. They're just there for to get killed. Essentially, they're kind of background players. But you don't want to make too many of them. You want to kind of give someone a wee bit of their fucking life. So even if it's people that are horrible people, you still want to have them in there. So
without naming any names, if you don't wish to, when I read the script the first time, I think I described it as like a horror Clerks, because I felt like I was reading people that I knew.
Yeah.
Are any or are all the characters based on actual people that you know, or are they kind of mere vague archetypes?
I'd say like 80 or 90% of them are folk that I know, but some of them have kind of made them a bit more outlandish, so it is definitely the people, but I've almost kind of disguised them to protect the guilty a bit. So, but I still, as I'm saying here, I still guarantee you, see if you know the people in it.
Yeah.
I'm actually portraying in it, like I've written in it. You won't fucking know them. You'll be like,
oh yeah, I mean, yeah, there were at least a couple of them that I actually picked up on straight away. But yeah, like it's quite interesting to like look at a film script and know that that's going to be filmed and that I'll see it one day. Yeah. And that this is a representation of people that I know in real life. It's going to be really weird and a weird experience. Were there any ideas for sections in the film or sequences that you had in your head that you were never able to commit to the script, even in the first draft, because you just weren't able to work them in for whatever reason? And did you always, as a follow-up off the back of that, were you always conscious of, can we make it work for a budget standpoint and for a practical standpoint when you're writing things?
Right, absolutely. And it's weird because the first write I done it when it was more kind of basic stuff was a lot. We could have done that in fucking hardly any budget at all. The second one when I started getting more excited about what I was writing at, like you don't see the budget when you're writing it down until you redo it again from the third rewrite, and you're like, shit, I need to cut this. I need to like fucking bring this all back. And then the new rewrite that we're doing now that we've talked about does cut that back, but it doesn't take anything away from the craziness, or in fact, it adds more craziness to it. The stuff that we've done is fucking half the budget, John. So it really is. And like that was a struggle for me because you want to see what's in your head on the screen. You don't want to cut it all down and cut it to fuck, because then it becomes no, you've wrote, if you know what I mean. But like that's how when you like we were talking about the ideas and you fucking mentioned your idea, I was like, still kind of like that still can like portrays what's in my head. That's still great, still fucking mental. I like it. So it's changed a lot kind of budget wise, but it was only when I done like the third rewrite it that I started thinking about that stuff. Again, just stupidly, I wasn't thinking about like how are we going to create this. It was in my head and I had to write it down. It seemed cool. It seemed really good. So you don't think about the budget.
I mean, yeah, it's probably, if you were to do it with the budget constantly in mind, I think that's probably where a lot of these bigger franchise directors and writers come into a lot of trouble, because they have to think about what the people who have the money want to see projected, and like it has to fit a certain formula to make a certain amount of money back on its budget and stuff like that. So I think if you're able to free yourself of that and not have to like worry about what the budget's going to be, and you just write for the sake of writing what you want to see on screen, that's probably the best way to approach it, especially at this level, because like it's not going to be a multi-billion-pound budget film. It's intentionally kind of designed to be as low budget as possible.
I mean, regardless of the budget we're talking about, it's still like it's still what we're doing is still classed as zero budget essentially. Like in zero budget, when I was looking at the classifications of how much budget in it, I was like, that's quite an alright budget, but it is just for us. But I mean, essentially, I'm an indie filmmaker trying to fucking make something on as little as possible. What is in our favour is like all the people that were wanting involved in it, or even all the crazy kind of stuff that I'm wanting in it. We know folk that do all this. Like if you want an idea, I know all the folk that can do this stuff, and that is a good place to be. Like I would, if I didn't know all the folk, that would be probably the biggest part of the budget. Be getting all these folk in, but like 80% of the folk that I've already got that are interested in it are all like, no, I'll do it for fuck all. We'll just do it. I just want to make a film. And we've already like discussed it. See, we done the music stuff. I was always, me and you, we were very anti-pay to play. We wanted everybody to kind of get a cut at it. We weren't in it for the cash and all that, which is probably why we're poor, John. But like, I'd love to do the film in the same kind of way. Like everybody at the end, if the film does really well, everybody gets a wee cut. Everybody's involved in it. It doesn't matter whether you're just the fucking the crew or the guys running the book, kind of helping folk do stuff, or you're one of the main folk, or fucking me doing the writing and director. I don't like. I'm happy getting as much a cut as fucking somebody else. It's just the grip or whatever it is. I just want to make the film. Like, I want to make the film. I want it to be good. I want it to be entertaining, and I want everybody that's in it to enjoy doing it, and then hopefully work on the other projects with us. So, and like we've talked about that kind of stuff before. We just want to do kind of stuff that is it different. It's just for us. It's just all about the creative outlet and the entertainment value of it. So, same as being in a band for you. You just like writing music. You don't want to fucking sell it. You like to sell it, but that's not in your head. There's not a thought. So.
I mean, the way I've always approached it is like it goes up for free, and with Bandcamp it's especially good because you can do the pay what you want, and if you want it for fuck all, you can take it for fuck all, and I hope you enjoy it. If you fancy like chipping in, then absolutely, that's magic. That's fucking so appreciated. I'm not going to make a living off of music anytime soon. I don't foresee that ever being the case, but it gives you that kind of hit of oxytocin when somebody likes your music enough to be like, I'm going to chip in a couple of bucks for that. You know, and I try to
a wee bit of dopamine that you need, mate.
Exactly, and I try to fire a few bucks, especially if it's a friend of mine, like they've released music. If I really like it, I will pay for it, you know, and if I don't like it, I'll try and kick a couple of quid in, depending on the finances as well, because it's a friend of mine. But like, it's not about music for me. I've never really even enjoyed playing live all that much. I just like being in a band and being in a rehearsal and being together.
I've seen your face on stage.
I mean, that was a whole host of other issues I think that were causing those moods. But
I think for this script, one of the best things for me was like it took me a good few weeks to actually send it out to folk when it was finished. Because you still don't want anybody to read it in case I like that shite. Back of your head, that's all that's going to happen. Folk will be like, what the fuck is this? How dare you assault my eyes with this nonsense?
Even I didn't get to read it for a couple of weeks. Fucking Becky got it before I did. What's that all about?
Who?
Becky.
Aye, but Becky sits beside me on the couch, mate. So
who's Becky that she gets it before I do? That's just a shambles, mate. That's. I thought you loved me, Jamie.
Well, you know what Becky says because she's awesome. So, and you're just a shit. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. John puts it as well. Yeah,
that's fair.
But everybody that I've said to well, some people didn't get back to us, but that's just because they don't get back to us ever. But anybody else that I sent it to, they not only did they enjoy it, but they wanted involved. Like all of them, every single one. People have meeting me, people have wanted meetings with me, folk have popped up at fucking bars. That's just great. I want in, even if it's just to fucking help you with life effects. You've got other stall holders in the bars wanting to make costumes or want to do makeup. It has been amazing. That's where it's the same as the music for you. That's my fucking wee dopamine hit. Was that? Aye. Yeah.
I've sent it to folk that have like registered interest as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like even a couple of people that I know, including somebody who is
they sent through their actors' bios, basically.
Aye, there you go. You want actors? I'll fucking get you actors, Jamie. Yeah. Let's talk about the crew actually for a bit. In fact, we are almost at the hour mark, and I think with StreamYard, you can only do an hour of recorded at a time. So let's say we end this recording here, and we'll make this a fucking two-parter, and we'll come back in 5 minutes after a quick break.
Yeah, fuck it. Might as well
just get it's Christmas. Exactly. Right. We're going to end it there. For part one, let's quickly wrap it up. Visit us on Facebook at Icebox Glasgow and at Icey Cast Pod. Follow us on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and X. It's at Icebox Glasgow. Become a member of our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Icebox Glasgow. And to keep up the latest on sound, but it's doing it again every time when I start doing this. The ticker is exactly where I am when I'm speaking. Soundbooth is it's on your screen at Fright or Flight Promotions on Facebook, and we're going to go take a quick break. But you won't have to worry about that. You can go straight on to the next episode right now. So bye for now.